Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Everybody, shalom to everybody. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank everybody for tuning in once again. I'm definitely excited about today's lesson. So big up to everybody out there. Big up to everybody. Shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, shalom to everyone out there. And what's going on? What's going on? Giving brothers and sisters an opportunity to jump in here. Today, the other day I did, after I watched the Black Panther, I actually watched the Black Panther again. I went and saw it again yesterday. I saw the Black Panther the first time this past weekend when I was in Jacksonville, Florida with the Boom Church family. Some of our brothers and sisters from Boom as a family night, and then or a couples night, shall I say. My kids didn't get a chance to see Black Panther, so I took them to see Black Panther on yesterday. So I saw Black Panther twice. So anybody want to talk junk to me, don't talk junk to me. I put money in Black Panther's pocket twice. So one was, again, going with my Boom church. And big shout out to Boom, man. Believers of One Messiah. I am proud to lead Boom. I mean, I love my people, man. They are definitely awesome brothers and sisters down in Jacksonville, Florida. We're growing already, man. So I am definitely excited about that. We just had our second service, and more people are coming to the second service. So starting out with adults and children, this past service we had about 50. We had about 30, maybe 38 the first service. So about 50 this service, and I expect the Father to move and do some even more greater things. And so I'm excited about what's going on in Boom. And Boom Atlanta, get ready. Get ready, Boom Atlanta. Get ready. We definitely getting geared up for that. But the Father is doing some great things. He is definitely about to shake some things up in a different way of what people, many have a blueprint of, I guess, what you call church growth or whatever. But this is going to be unconventional. This is going to be definitely spirit-led. The Father is doing some radical out-the-box things. Many people say they're out the box, but eventually you tend to see that they go to a different side of the box versus actually being outside of the box itself. Going to another side of the box don't mean that you're out of the box. But anyway, I like to thank the Father for what he's doing. I mean, just on all levels, just a level of education, level of spirit that's going on with it. Boom. I am excited to be a part of what the Father is doing, co-laboring with brothers and sisters there in Jacksonville, in my hometown. I still live in Atlanta, but the Father is doing some great things, and I love it, what he's doing. And I just know that being in the timing of the Father, sitting over 10 years, not teaching, not saying anything, and just the timing of the Father is so great and awesome. So I like to thank him for that. Boom is definitely doing some great things. But anyway, I want to talk to you about Black Panther. All right. Now, I did a grade, and I didn't want to because I saw it like the next day. Shalom to all of you. I saw it like the next, I think it was Sunday. No, Saturday. I think it was Saturday after Saturday. I can't remember, get my dates. I was in Jacksonville all this weekend. I think it was Saturday after our Sabbath service. That night, some of our brothers and sisters came from Tampa and came to fellowship with us in Tampa. Big shout out to our brother Tony Robinson, as well as Sister Aisha Robinson. Big shout out to y'all for traveling from Tampa for the second service. They came to the first service, drove all the way 3 hours from Tampa. They came to the second service again, 3 hours from Tampa. So we like to thank the Father for what he's doing. And I pray that the Father will continue to bless you in an abundance financially to be able to do a work. And we pray that the Father light a fire in you to do a work in the Tampa area. And so maybe a boom in Tampa. I don't know. But anyway, I like to think we all went out. hung out, Sister Shantae, Elder Mark James, Sister Ellie, all of us, we went out to see the movie. It was awesome on Saturday. And so I expected it. I came back and I told y'all I gave it a grade. I gave it a B plus. And the reason why I gave it a B plus because the hype. It was so hyped up, not by Marvel, but it was so hyped up by black people to the point to where I don't think nobody could meet the I don't think Black Panther or any other movie can exceed or meet the expectations of how hyped it was with African people. Okay. And I said African because whether you subscribe to Northeast Africa being from Israel, which is Northeast Africa, not the Middle East. There's no such thing as the Middle East. But if you subscribe to Northeast Africa, which is where Israel is, or you subscribe to the west coast of Nigeria, all right, it doesn't matter. We come from the continent of Africa. This is where the Garden of Eden was at. This is where civilization started at. Okay. So I'm just saying, understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about African people. All right. I'm not talking about Hamitic or Shemitic people. All right. But, this is the thing. I gave it a B plus because no movie could meet the expectations that when black people put an expectation on something, it's hard for anybody to reach the expectations of black people. Okay, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care if it's cooking. When we set an expectation and a precedent for anything, it can be how you tie your shoes. If you don't tie your shoes to the level of expectation that black people have, it's not going to be right. Okay, it's not going to be right. It's not that you didn't try, but it's just not going to be right. That's just the way black people are. We set a precedence for everything on every level. It doesn't matter if it's baking cakes. All right. If you don't bake a cake the certain kind of way, black people, you just ain't meet the expectations. And black people is going to tell you when you don't meet the expectations of black people. That's just pretty much the way it is. All right. That's the way we are. It's always been that way. I don't care what, even you can scramble eggs. As simple as scrambling eggs. If black people set expectations on scrambling eggs, look, Kool-Aid. If you don't meet the expectations of Kool-Aid, the way certain black people make Kool-Aid, you did not meet the expectations and you need to start over. Okay, that's just the way we do. Black Panther could not meet the expectation, okay, of the level of where black people put it at. It was too far to reach. Okay, it was just too far to reach. It was a good movie. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I went and saw it twice. Many of you probably only saw it one time, and many of you probably didn't even pay to go see it. A whole lot of y'all saw it on Fire Stick, okay? A whole lot of saw it on Fire Stick. A whole lot of y'all probably bought the bootleg. A whole lot of y'all probably saw it on an online free movie website. I went and paid twice. I paid for me and my wife to go see it during our Boom Church couples night that we had the other day. Okay, on Saturday, and then my kids didn't get to see it. So I took my 3 kids and my wife to go see it again. I done put money in black so I can talk. Okay, I can talk and I can tell y'all, if you ain't put no money in the doggone pockets, and yes, the pockets did go to the white man. It sure did. Now, that's neither here nor there. Okay, we know who run the entertainment industry, but still, all right, I got room to talk because I patronize the business. All right, now let's get this. Let's get an understanding here. Okay. I went to go see Black Panther. Now, mind you, I knew from the get-go that it was going to be some Hebraic thought. I knew it was going to be some comedic thought. You know why? Because black people have been Hebrews and comedic people all their life. Throughout history. This is nothing new. So I didn't go to the movies like everybody said, oh, it was witchcraft in the movie, oh, voodoo and all this. Man, listen, that does not apply to me, okay? Let me explain something to y'all. Why it doesn't? Because I am covered by the blood of the Lamb. I don't care about the voodoo in the movie. I didn't go to see no voodoo in the movie. I could care less about it. Do you know how many cartoons your children watch? They got voodoo in it and all kind of spell casting. Matter of fact, on social media, it's a lot of spell casting. Matter of fact, all on the BET Awards. Half of y'all be watching the BET Awards too. It's a lot of spell casting going on there. I could care less about any of that. I didn't go to see Black Panther because I was like, oh, let me go try to pick out his. No, I knew it was going to be comedic science in the video. I knew it was going to be Egyptology in the video. In the movie. I knew it was going to be Hebraic thought in the movie, all right, dealing with the Hebrews, all right? I knew that. I knew both perspectives was going to be there. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go watch it from the perspective of seeing what everybody else did not go to see it for, all right? I didn't care about the entertainment. I watch all the Marvel movies, okay? I watch all of them except Spider-Man. I care less about Spider-Man, okay? But I watch all the Marvel movies, all right? And when I go in any movie, DC comic, any of them, all of them either going to have Greek mythology or some of them going to have some form of comedic philosophy to it, all right? It's just so happened that this particular movie dealing with Marvel, you could not avoid not adding Hebraic thought in the movie dealing with the Hebrews, all right? Not the Jewish people, the Hebrews, okay? Both are going to be in that movie, all right? Now, let's get to the point here. What I'm talking about, slave and homeborn, okay? Let's look at this, all right? Now, we know that Africa, all right, is what civilization started at, what creation started at. This is why the continent of Africa has so much in it, okay, in the earth. Now, when you look at the movie, you see it. They wrote it to where there's this meteor comes and goes into the earth, okay? It goes into the earth, and all of a sudden it produces this, and all of the names slip my mind right now, but it produced this plant, okay? This plant that's made from that is growing the vibranium, or it's getting into the earth, okay? And it comes and they give it the name of this vibranium, okay? Think about this, all right? In Africa, and I got Bishop on here, Bishop Nolan McCants, who's been to Africa several times. So I'm pretty sure he knows what I'm talking about. Okay, listen. In the earth in Africa, it produces pretty much everything around the world. From your car batteries to your cell phone batteries. I mean, to all type of coal, all type of stuff that's produced in the earth in Africa. Diamonds. This is the reason why that so many people, and this is the reason why the colonizers, not only was it a benefit to enslave people to do the work that they want, but also at the same time is that the earth, that Africa, it has so many different resources and minerals in the earth. That was the earth come from. You know why? This is the reason why Black Panther is made the way it's made. All right. Even though all of these different things, all right, these different substances are in the earth in the continent of Africa. I'm sorry about that. Even though all of these is in the earth in the continent of Africa, it did not stop the brothers and sisters in Africa to have different spiritual principles. Okay, it didn't stop that, because these products that is in the earth that the Father has put there. This is the beginning of civilization. Think about this for a second, brothers and sisters. If you created mankind in Africa or wherever you create mankind at, would you not supply him with every source that he needs? This is why Africa has everything that it has, more than any other nation or any other continent. All right, this is exactly why it's like that. But it did not stop. Why? Because these things that are produced, all right, you have different spiritual systems in which people are going to use these spiritual systems to coincide with the things that is produced in the earth in Africa. All right. So this is why you had brothers over there who were comedic science, who dealt with comedic science. And if you don't understand, and if you don't know by now that the Bible is science as well, then you're missing something. This is the reason why a lot of people miss it. This is the reason why a lot of people can't come up with the calculation properly, is because they refuse to accept the Bible being scientific. It is scientific. And I'm going to do some lessons, all right, coming up soon this year, if not by next year, on scientific systems in the Bible. It needs to be done. It's not that it's witchcraft. It's not any of that. Okay, the Hebrews had scientific systems. Everybody else had scientific systems. The Egyptians, they all had scientific systems. All right, the Mesopotamians, they all had scientific systems. Why? Because if you're dealing in a place where these type of minerals and these type of substances is in the earth, it's going to take a level of science from the Creator, whether you deny the Creator or not. God, or you want to worship another deity, that is up to you. That is on you, but you will be dealt with on that. All right. Now, fast forward here. These minerals that goes into the earth. Okay. And y'all saw that. And all of a sudden it creates these things. So now this substance of coal, diamonds, all right, uranium, all these different substances, all right, it creates, if you put all these substances together, you look at them individually, all right, look at them individually and look at the things that they produce in the earth, from batteries for your cell phone to your car to light systems, different lights, different water products. We see all the times where we see young Africans over in Africa, all right, at 17 years old, creating machinery and different systems out of garbage. Come on, I don't think y'all understand this. I really need y'all to understand what I'm saying. All right, we have top of the line things in America to build and create robots and all kind of other systems. All right, in America, all type of electronics, and you can take a young African that is 16 years old with less laboratory labs and less technology, and he can take a simple source of energy from the earth in Africa to outpower anything that you can produce in America. Come on, y'all. I need y'all to catch this. This is what Wakanda is about. Okay, Wakanda is not just about one particular specific location, but Wakanda is a totality of the continent of Africa. If you understand what's going on here, okay, this is the reason why in the movie everybody was trying to get to it. All right, and you look in the earth today, everybody is benefiting off of the resources in the continent of Africa, except Africans. Okay, except black people. You have the French over there. You have the British over there. You have the Spaniards. You have everybody over there. You even got the Americans over there. All right, they're all trying to colonize a particular place so that way they can focus on a particular area. Whatever their focus is, that's the area they colonize and force the people to work for them, to produce, to dig, and to manufacture this particular product of whatever it is, even all the way down to the salt. All right, even all the way down to salt. All right, salt, something as simple as salt. All right, which was very important. All right, especially in biblical times, to preserve things. All right. So when we start looking at Wakanda, this is the reason why they wanted to put up a shield of protection to keep colonizers. This is why they identified white people in the movie as colonizers. All right. I'm just trying to get something to y'all to hear what I'm saying here. Okay. Because Wakanda understood that if we don't hide and protect and keep these folks out, they're going to take our goods. And this is exactly what has happened in the day and age in which we live. So Wakanda is just one key component to speaking as a voice for the entire continent of Africa. All right. And its resources and what it has. All right. Even all the way to the animals, y'all. Even all the way to the animals. All right. You can mess around and go to Africa and you can find a particular snake or something of that nature to make a superior anti-venom. What about the rhinos? The rhinos and the elephant's nostrils. I mean, their tusk and stuff like that is getting cut off for the ivory and all this other stuff. Even the animals are producing things that is a great resource. Let me tell y'all, I'm telling y'all, there's no other place in the world, okay, that has the resources, but because the reason why the people cannot benefit from it is because it's not in the hands of the people. It's in the hands of the colonizers. Okay. Now let's move on here. All right. That I dealt with that. Now let's deal with the homegrown and the slave. All right. We see that Killmonger is the slave. All right. The Black Panther is the homegrown. The homegrown is grown up in a society, in a situation where he's never experienced black on black crime, or not black on black crime, but he's never experienced racism. He's never experienced racism. The slave has. Killmonger has. He's experienced all of these different things. This is why when he comes in, he said, y'all chilling. Y'all ain't experienced none of this. Y'all ain't experienced none of the battles, the wounds, and the scars, and the pain that my eyes have had to see. Not only my eyes, but my body has had to experience. But y'all chilling. Y'all chilling. Y'all chilling. You have all the resources that you have. All while you sitting back and you see what's going on and you ain't doing nothing about it. Now, the mentality of Killmonger is my resources and where I come from can help solve all of this. But because of my anger, because of my rage, not only of myself, my personal situations, but the rage and the anger that I see going on amongst my people, I ain't trying to hear none of this peace talk. I'm not trying to hear none of this singing. I'm not trying to hear none of this, we shall overcome. I'm not trying to hear none of this, let's put it in the hands of the lawmakers, the politicians, and the pastors. This is going on today in our very country, where young people are running anybody that's a politician or anybody that's a pastor. So when something go down and pastors and all these other folks try to run up in their communities, they say, enough is enough. You better get up out of here. They ran Jamal Bryant up out of there. All right. I'm telling y'all what's going on. They ran Jamal Bryant. You trying to come down here with cameras if you want to. We running y'all up out of there. They ran Jamal Bryant out of there. When what they went down in Ferguson, that Al Sharpton came down, they ran his behind up out of there. They done ran Jesse Jackson. We don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. Y'all just sitting back. Y'all doing all this talking and y'all not doing nothing. We done got beat down. We done seen our people get beat down. We done lost family members and y'all ain't doing nothing but talking. This is the Killmonger mindset. Killmonger embodied the voices of every Negro slave that was in America, or people or children that was born of slaves in America. That's the mindset. They just embodied him in one. The reason why his rage was so to the point that it was because he was the voice of all millions of people. Killmonger was the voice of millions. That's why the intensity was the way it was. That's why he looked at his cousin as an enemy. That's why he looked at the place where he come from as enemies. And this is the same thing that we have Hebrew Israelite brothers on the corner yelling, cussing people out, talking about they hate Africans. They hate everybody from Africa. They can't stand the Christian pastors. They can't stand none of these Negroes. All that because they are the Killmongers of our day. Killmonger is a character that embodies the truth that is going on in society right now. And the Hebrew brothers out there on the corner cussing people out, they don't want to hear nothing about no peace. Because they say, y'all sat back and y'all watched us go through the affliction. Y'all sat back and y'all watch your ancestors go through the same affliction for almost 400 years, almost close to 400 years. Killmonger is the voice. He was the voice that embodied that. But the problem here is this. Just as in the movie, you had a level of spirituality in the movie, you still cannot subtract and take away the level of spirituality in the movie, in reality. The movie displayed a level of spirituality, whether you agreed with the principle or the process of that or not. It still displayed a level of spirituality. So in reality, you cannot subtract away the level of spiritual substance out of reality. It still holds its weight. The Father is still in control. And the reason being, if you look past the movie, the Marvel portion of it, is saying is this. Why did you go and slave? You had all these spiritual principles. You had all these resources, but yet you were put in bondage in slavery. The spiritual side of that is that the Father who is in control is the one who got you to that point. Because you did not want to be obedient to what he told you to do. This is talking about those who were part of the transatlantic slave trade, or those who were part of any form of slavery around the world that said that they followed the Christ. But that does not exclude the homegrown. Because even in that movie, you saw that the situation came to the home too. It doesn't matter if you're homegrown or if you're a slave. If you don't do what the Father say, you open up the door for war to come to your doorstep. And no matter no matter the shields that they had of protection that they thought that they trusted in, it still got penetrated, okay, by the white dude with the hand, with the gun hand. It still got penetrated. The cloaking system didn't help them. They still got a portion of vibranium that the dude was trying to sell to the CIA. So war, not only did it come first to the scattered, but it also ended in the motherland. It also started. It also was a part of, and if you look at today, in Africa today, there's a war in the motherland today. There's a war amongst the scattered, and there's a war amongst the homegrown. And if you look at that movie, the war was taking place in foreign lands amongst the scattered, and now it's taking place today in the motherland. It's the same situation. And both brothers, both cousins, both family members end up fighting, not liking each other. It's the same thing today, where you have the slave and the homegrown not liking each other. Because the homegrown slave says, or the scattered says, you left us. You turned your back on us. You didn't come see about us. But the problem here, brothers and sisters, is this. One, how can someone come see about you and get you when they don't know where you're at? One. Two, how can they come get you when they themselves are being slaughtered and put to death by the same people that scattered you? If they can't save themselves, how could they have saved you? We got to think about this. See, the Killmonger mindset does have its valid points. But if you do not control the Killmonger mindset, it will cause you to make irrational decisions, ultimately causing your mission to fail and causing you to kill everybody that follows you. See, Killmonger will get you killed. Killmonger will get you excited. Killmonger will get you to cause a revolution. But Killmonger will get you killed. And Killmonger would also get you to get the mission to not be effective. On the one end, T'Challa mindset. It will cause you to be complacent. It will cause you to be self-righteous. It will cause you to only think about yourself. But also, procrastination can also sometimes be a blessing. And procrastination can also, if it's in the right situation, can cause you to reflect on bad decisions. Procrastination sometimes give you time to make those bad decisions right. We see all the time brothers saying, man, we gotta go, we gotta go get this. Oh, the white man, the devil, we gotta go, we gotta take over, we gotta arm up, we gotta take all this other stuff. That Killmonger mentality. It's not gonna get you nowhere. But if the Killmonger mindset can embrace the T'Challa mindset, and the T'Challa mindset can embrace the Killmonger, what is the word? Zeal. If the mindset of T'Challa can also take on the zeal of Killmonger, not only will you be effective, but you can be effectively liberating, all while at the same time showing others the level of balance. Balance brings liberation. Erratic activity only calls you to get killed. When you look at the military, someone go AWOL or someone is gung-ho, people who are gung-ho always get killed. Let's look at some scripture here. After I saw the movie, I thought about this. The homegrown and the slave. Jeremiah chapter number 29. I thought about this after seeing Black Panther. Jeremiah 29. Verse number 1. Jeremiah 29 and 1. Now these are the words of the letter. As we see, the Apostle Paul would always write letters as his epistle. Peter would write letters in his epistle. We've always seen brothers writing letters, which is very important to understand when dealing with the scriptures, because that lets you know that he's writing to someone, and generally it's someone that this particular person was either in the presence of and they had conversation. And so the letter would generally sometimes be a reminder of something. But let's look at this. Jeremiah 29 and verse 1. Now these are the words of the letter that Jeremiah, the prophet, sent from Jerusalem unto the residue, unto the remnant of the elders which were carried away captive. Unto the elders that was carried away captive. Unto the elders that was carried away captive. Unto the Killmongers that was carried away captive. And to the priests, and to the prophets, and to all the people whom Nebuchadnezzar had carried away captive from Jerusalem to Babylon. From Northeast Africa, or the west coast of Africa, into the diaspora. Captive into Babylon, which America is identified as Egypt as well as Babylon. as well as there are other places in which other brothers and sisters were scattered into the in the four corners of the earth. Many of those places, not just America, it also brings a remembrance of Egypt and Babylon. Well, let's look at this. Verse number 2. After that, Jeconiah, the king and the queen, and the eunuchs and the princes of Judah and Jerusalem, and the carpenters and the smiths were departed from Jerusalem by the hand of Elisha, the son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, the son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, saying, listen to this, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Listen, I love that. I love when they make sure that they identify that, because you have to understand that all these other nations had their gods too. All these other nations had what they call lords too. So to make the difference, to let you know who we talking about, we talk about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of Israel, not the God of the Mesopotamians, not the God of the Egyptians, not any of that. We're going to let it be known who we are talking about, or who is speaking when it comes down to this letter being written. Okay, let's look at this. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captive, unto all the Killmongers that is carried away captive, all right, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem to Babylon. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives and begot sons and daughters, and take wives from your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there and not diminished. This is exactly what his brother did. All right. T'Chaka, brother, was sent into California or into the Americas, where he met a woman and he impregnated her. This is how Killmonger came about. All right. This is what it says. Verse number 7. And seek the peace of the city, whither I have caused you to be carried away captive, and pray unto the Lord for it. For in the peace thereof shall ye have peace. Pray in these lands that you scattered in these lands that you in. You're trying to take things in your own hands, it's not going to work. Because the people wouldn't have took you into the land if the father hadn't done it. It was on the father. It had nothing to do with your decision. You made the bad decisions, which got you in that mess. Now you want to worship all these other gods. You want to start blaming everybody else when it's your own fault, Killmonger. Verse number 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you. Don't let your prophets and the people amongst you deceive you and talk about, oh, it's the white man, it's the Asian man, it's the Russian man, it's this man, it's that man. No. Don't let them deceive you, because it's your own doing. The issue and the problem and the situation you in is because of you, because you still don't want to do what the Father told you to do. You still want to do exactly the same thing you was doing in the land that flowed with milk and honey, the land that produced all these minerals and diamonds and sapphires and all this other stuff, and all this uranium, all these other stuff, gold, yellow cake, all this other stuff that the land produced for you, all the way to the animals. You didn't want to do what the Father told you to do. And therefore, you got yourself put in a situation by your own fault. Your own fault. It ain't the white man, not the Korean, not the Asian. Ain't no Esau. Ain't no all that other stuff. Listen with it. Jeremiah 20. Let me read it again. Jeremiah 29 and verse number 7. Verse number 8. Look what it says. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you. All these brothers and sisters running around being deceived. Every time I look around, come out their mouth. Oh, the white man. The white man. No, you. And you're allowing your so-called prophets to deceive you by blaming everybody else, and you're not looking at your own situation and what you're not doing according to Torah. But you want to be a Killmonger. You want to blame everybody else. You want to blame all the people around the world. You want to blame everybody. You want to blame your own people because you say, oh, they didn't come and save you. Well, they couldn't come and save you when they try to save themselves. The same folk that colonized your behind colonized Africa too. Who gonna save you? Nobody but the Lord. The Lord is the only one, because the way this message is, it ain't had nothing to do. Everyone on point fingers at the devil, talking about the devil, the white man, and all these others want to blame everybody else. The white man has become a cop-out. The Asian man, that become a cop-out. The Hamites, that became a cop-out. Everything y'all do, all the bad decisions you make, y'all blame everybody else. You blame the devil, you blame everybody else instead of your own self, because you've allowed your so-called prophets to deceive you. And now you take it on a Killmonger mindset. And so when I saw the movie, I thought about this scripture. I thought about it. This came to mind. The slave and the homegrown. Both of them got issues. And none of these colonizers was thinking about you. And I know it ain't popular, but I gotta say it. The Most High was the one who sent them after your behind because of your disobedience. Because of your, not the white man, not the Asian man, not nobody else, your disobedience. Everybody want to be identified as the children of Israel, but don't nobody want to take on the responsibility that that the reason the situation they in is because of themselves. It's easy to blame everybody. Yeah, I'm a Hebrew, I'm a child of Israel, but you don't want to take on the responsibility of your behind being disobedient. It's easy to point the fingers at everybody else, but you don't want to hone in. You don't want to. You want to make a proselyte out of everybody else being a Hebrew, but yet you don't want to turn around yourself and want to blame yourself or blame your forefathers for the situation you in. But guess what? T'Challa had the kahunas and the balls to do it. He had the kahunas and the balls to blame his father. That's why I say procrastination can sometimes be a blessing to bring on reflection. But if you take on a Killmonger mentality, being gun-ho, that gets everybody killed. No justice comes into that. And in fact, you step in the shoes of the creator and trying to make something happen when he's already has an appointed time of when he gonna get vengeance. He say, vengeance belong to me. You stand your behind down. And I have some Hebrew talking, oh, that's that white man doctrine you talk. No, that's Bible. Look at all the Killmongers throughout the past that done got them and everybody else killed. And we still in the situation we in. Killmonger wasn't free. Killmonger was a slave in his mind, trying to bring liberation. You know, all Killmonger was another birth of a nation. That didn't happen. That's all he was. Killmonger was just another modern day Nat Turner. He was a modern day Nat Turner. Nat Turner, what happened with him? He tried. You can't take it into your own hands, beloved. There's still a spiritual component to this thing. Does that mean sit around and do nothing? Does that mean sit around and don't speak out? No, that's not what I'm saying. But when you try to take on something that you don't have the capabilities or the capacity to do, because you didn't put yourself in, you put yourself in a bad situation. And now you're trying to get yourself out of it, as many people are doing today. Let's keep reading here. Look what it says. All right. He says, verse number 8 of Jeremiah 29. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you. Neither hearken, don't listen to your dreams, which ye cause to be dreamed. Don't be dreaming about listening. See, this is what happened. See, your mind can play tricks on you, as the ghetto boys say. Your dreams, the Father didn't put that vision in you. You dreamt that on your own. And you cause your own created dreams. And then you turn around and say, God told me this. When you caused it yourself, you dreamt that yourself. You painted the whole picture. You wrote the whole story yourself in your mind. Thinking, just like Killmonger, thinking if I kill this guy and I can get into Wakanda, because my dream is I'm going to kill as many people as I can, and that was going to take me to the place that I'm trying to go. But you still failed. You got to the place, you got to the door, but yet you couldn't walk through it. Because your dreams, every good idea is not a God idea. And it's a whole lot of Killmongers that got good ideas, but they don't never work. You can't draw up plans that's out of the will of the Father and ask the Father to bless it. It's not going to work. He already said, I'm going to liberate you. But throughout the times, we've always had people come along that try to do his job. You can't even save yourself. Let's keep reading here, all right? He said, verse number 9, for they prophesy falsely unto you in my name. I have not sent them, saith the Lord. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good word towards you in causing ye to return to this place. This is Jeremiah writing from Jerusalem, writing to captivity. When it comes down after 70 years, which is the set time that the Father had marked on the calendar, when he scattered your behind, he had already put a date on the calendar. It's the same way when your behind gets sentenced to a prison sentence and the judge gives you a date, you're going to serve 20 years on September 15th, such and such year is your release date. Not only did the judge give you a sentencing, but he also gave you a release date. After 70 years, I'm going to send you in. This is your sentence, 70 years for being disobedient. And after that 70 years, my release will kick in. I don't care what you try to do, brothers and sisters. You cannot speed up your release date in Yah. You can't do it. You can't do it. He's already made up his mind. He's already put a set time. He's already circled on the calendar when your deliverance, when your liberation is going to come. And the problem is you got people over the period of time, throughout time, thinking that they know when the set time is. The Father ain't tell you the set time. Or if he did tell you, he's not going to move before that. It's going to be right in timing as he declared it so, as we see right here. Look what he says. Verse number 10. For thus saith the Lord, that after 70 years be accomplished at Babylon, I will visit you and perform my good works towards you in causing you to return to this place, return to Jerusalem. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you. Everybody love this scripture, this particular verse here. Everybody love that, but they don't read it in context. All right. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace, not of evil, to give you an expected end. Verse number 12. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord, and I will turn away your captivity. I will turn away your captivity. How can he do this? He's going to tell you. And I will gather you from all the nations, from all the places whither I have driven you. See, your scattering was a sentence because of your disobedience, Killmonger. You too busy blaming everybody else. And it was your own fault, Killmonger. It was your own fault. But you're blaming everybody else. You blaming your brothers and sisters that's homegrown. You blaming the white man. You blaming everybody. But it was your own fault because your forefather betrayed Yah. Your forefather betrayed the Creator. And now you mad and upset because the forefather judged your father, put him to death. And now you want to blame the white man and everybody else because of the situation you in. That's the component to what I saw in the movie. I didn't care about witchcraft or any of that stuff y'all folks talking about. Look what else. I have driven you, verse number 14, saith the Lord, and I will bring you again into the place which I caused you to be carried away captive. I caused you, not the white man. The white man wasn't thinking about you. The Asian man, the Arabs, none of them were thinking about you. I gave them your coordinates. I gave them the GPS box with your address already in it, right to where you are. And I gave them the different coordinates to throughout the four corners of the earth to take your behind. And after so many years, I'm going to liberate you, not yourself. I don't care how many of y'all move back to the land of Israel. I don't care how many of y'all move back to Africa. It doesn't matter. You know, if you're moving back there thinking that that's going to give you some form of peace or liberation, it's not, because it's not peace in any of those lands right now. Why? Because the King of Kings is not ruling and reigning from those lands. And therefore, the people that he sent against you is still in rulership. The one who sent them against you is the one who's going to take them down. But you're trying to do it yourself. And you ain't helping. It's not helping nobody. It's not helping nobody. It's not helping nobody. Now, if you want to move there, move there. That's fine. I'm not saying don't move there. But what I'm telling you, if you moving there thinking that this is a part of prophecy, stop it. Stop it. Or you're going to speed up prophecy by moving there? Stop it. It ain't working. Because the time clock has already been set. The time ain't speeding up no faster. I don't care how many of y'all move to Israel. It ain't happening. It's not going to speed up the clock. There's certain things that has to take place for the Father to do. He's not jumping ahead of his prophetic word. It's already been laid out. The course has already been laid out, how it's going to go. Let's keep reading. Verse 15, because ye have said, the Lord have raised us up prophets in Babylon. Listen to this. Check this out. Look at the Lord always been a stunner. There's nobody more gangster than the Creator. He raised up Moses in the house of the Egyptians. Now he's going to turn around and he's telling them, y'all have kids in Babylon. I'm going to raise up prophets because I'm going to pour out my spirit upon your children in the lands in which they scattered, and they're going to be the voice. The liberation is going to come through the voice of who the unit that I'm going to be speaking through. You first got to be liberated in thought before you can be liberated in spirit. Come on, man. You got to change. I'm sorry, let me just rephrase that. You have to be liberated within your spirit, man, in order for your mindset to be changed. And if you're not liberated spiritually, then how can you be liberated here? You're going to still think carnal if you have not been liberated in your spirit, man. So there needs to be prophets of the Most High speaking in the lands in which you are scattered in order for you to even take on his spirit in those lands to convert and to change from living like the way that they live and the way they act. So that way you can be a voice. You'll begin to think like him then. But if you don't change your spirit, man, then how can you think like him? Everybody thinking, but ain't everybody not transformed. Everybody thinking of a master plan. Everybody rocking thinking of a master plan. But you don't have no spirit man. You have no spirit man, but you're thinking of a master plan. You cannot, the only person that has the master plan is the Creator. And if you don't go through his son, you can't get the master plan. All you're going to do is sit around doing is thinking and sweating in the palm of your hands. Because you'll always be nervous and scared and worried about what's going on. We got to do something. I don't care what goes. I don't care what president in the office. I don't care what goes on around me, how the gas prices go up. I don't care if they threaten a shortage of food. I don't care about they threaten layoffs. It does not change my trust in him. How deep is your trust? I just talked that to our church this morning. In our church group. How deep is your trust? Like Keith Sweat used to say back in the day, how deep is your love? How deep is your trust? Killmonger didn't have a deep trust. He had a deep thought. Oh, man, come on now. Killmonger didn't have a deep trust, but he was always in deep thought. Deep thought minus deep trust or concrete trust in the deliverer gets you nowhere. Get you nowhere. Malcolm X had a deep thought. Where did it get you? Marcus Garvey had a deep thought. Where did it get us? Dr. King had a deep thought and a dream. Where did it get us? Yeah, we got a little bit of productivity. We got a little, we steer the tail. We still behind. The Asians and everybody else is moving ahead of us, and we still behind. Why? Because we continue to do it exactly the same thing that got us in the mess in the first place. Blame everybody else and continue to live like everybody else. That's the same thing. This is the reason why we're in the situation we're in. We live like everybody else, and we blame everybody else. Verse number 14. I'm sorry. Verse number 11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil. My intentions is not evil towards you. This is what the Father is saying, but it's to bring you to a level of peace and surrender to him, to give unto you an expected end. Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you. I will listen to you. I will hear you. And ye shall seek me and find me, when ye shall search for me with all your heart. And I will be found of you, saith the Lord. And I will turn away the captivity, and I will bring you from all the nations from all the places whither I have driven you, saith the Lord. And I will bring you again unto the place which I caused you to be carried away captive. Because ye have said, the Lord hath raised us up prophets in Babylon. Know that thus saith the Lord of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in this city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Killmonger, you have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, but your brothers who have not been scattered, they still in Wakanda. But guess what? I still have an ought with them. Just because they didn't get scattered with you, that don't mean I don't have a problem with them. That don't mean my ought is just with you because you're scattered. That don't mean that my ought is not with them because they're homegrown. But watch what the Lord says here. Let me read it again. Verse number 16. Know that thus saith the Lord of the king that sitteth upon the throne of David, and of all the people that dwelleth in the city, and of your brethren that are not gone forth with you into captivity. Why? Because they stayed in Wakanda. They think that they're safe. Look what verse number 17 says. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword. Yeah, your brothers that did not go into captivity with you, the one that's still home in Wakanda, still home in on the west coast of Africa, that are still home in Northeast Africa, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. They are so evil. They was evil then. Your forefathers was evil with them. I tried to give them because y'all was wicked. I sent y'all into the four corners of the earth. And I tried to use that as a sign to get their attention, who's still in the land of Wakanda. But they still remain wicked. They still worshiping other gods. They still doing all these different things. So therefore, I'm going to bring the sword against them. You wonder why they ain't come save you? It's because they was too busy trying to save themselves. You wonder why they didn't come save you while you mad and angry at your brother, Killmonger, because he didn't come save you. Well, he couldn't save you because he was too busy trying to protect himself from the sword, from the famine and the pestilence that this Lord sent against him. So both of y'all are in a bad situation. And both of y'all, no matter what happens, can help one another. But this is the Lord that you must seek out to bring liberation to you. Don't matter if you're in the four corners of the earth, and it doesn't matter if you're at home. Doesn't matter if you're home. Jeremiah chapter number 29. Jeremiah chapter number 29 in verse number 17. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. And I will persecute them with the sword. Here come, hey, you thought you were safe because you didn't get taken captive. You thought you were safe because you stayed in Wakanda. But guess what? I'm going to send someone through your impenetrable wall. I'm going to send someone you think that you cloaked and hid, but I can see you. And I can give the coordinates to any and everybody that I want to see you and find you. You cannot hide from the Lord. And your wicked deeds is going to call. I don't care what kind of technology. I don't care what type of advancement for. The Lord is the one who gave the ability for the earth to produce those things. And he has the blueprint of how to defeat them. I don't care what type of vibranium you got. When the Lord wants somebody to touch you, he will. He will touch you. Doesn't matter what type of suit that you have. It's always somebody else that can touch you if the Lord wants him to. Verse 18, and I will persecute them with the sword, with the famine, and with the pestilence, and I will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms of the earth, to be a curse and an astonishment, and a hissing and a reproach everywhere. Everywhere. What is he saying? Look what he says here. He says in verse number 18, I will persecute them, talk about the homegrown, with the sword, with famine, and with the pestilence, and will deliver them to be removed to all the kingdoms. Listen to this, all the kingdoms. Remember, many of the brothers and sisters still in the land of sin, still in Africa and the continent today. What does it mean talk about removed? He's not talking about them actually taking all of the brothers and sisters that was left in the land. He's not saying he's going to take all of them up and then remove them and ain't nobody going to be there. No, he's talking about the Germans, the French, the Asians, the Americans, the British. All of them have come into the land of Africa, the continent, and have divided it up. When it was all one landmass, now you divided it up. You start chopping up, naming it the Middle East. Then you chop this side over here, naming it Nigeria. You chop that side over there, name it Zimbabwe, Ivory Coast, Ghana. You chopped all this stuff up. That's what he's talking about, dividing and separating, and you take on the languages of those other nations. So no longer is it one landmass. Now you divide it based off what they named you. And based on what area that they named it as. There was no such thing as a Cameroon, such thing as an Ivory Coast, such thing as none of that. It was all one landmass. The same way the United States of America was all one landmass. And guess what? They came over, they started dividing up, naming it Florida, naming it Georgia, naming it this, naming it that, California. All these different names that they divided all these 50 states up into the same way they did the islands. You had the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now you got the British Islands. You got all of this. All of these different things. Dividing it up. You don't have to go into another nation by being taken up and moved to that nation. You can go into another nation by taking on their customs. You can go into another nation by taking on their language. You can go into another, doing all this stuff. Don't mean that you have to actually just pack up and leave and get sent somewhere else. No, you can become another nation right in that land. Or what I mean is take on their customs and their ideas and ideologies and the ways of doing things. You still flesh and blood as an Israelite or as a Hebrew or as a Kemetic or whatever you are, or a Hamite or whatever you decide, whatever it is you are, but you can also take on the ideas and the mindset of others and their languages. This is why there was a lot of Hellenized Israelites that many called Gentiles, because they took on those customs. Even though they was Israelites by blood, they still took on those customs. Let's finish up. Verse number 19. Because they have not hearkened to my words, saith the Lord, which I sent unto them by my servant, the prophets, rising up early and sending them. But ye would not hear, saith the Lord. Hear ye therefore the words of the Lord. all ye of the captivity, whom I have sent from Jerusalem to Babylon. Want to blame somebody? Blame the Lord. You blaming everybody else ain't gonna liberate you. You blaming everybody else not gonna take you out of captivity. But you need to have self-reflection. Blame yourself. Blame your forefather for the condition you in and fix the situation. Change how you living. Change how you living. And you'll see liberation. I pray that you cannot eat without eating from the word of Yah. For man should not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. I pray that you cannot drink without drinking from the living waters that floweth from Christ. Let the light that is within you shine bright outside of you. And remember to love one another so that the world may know that we serve the true and living Yah. All praises to the Most High. I pray that this lesson really blessed you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/itsmajors1. youtube.com/itsmajors1. You get a chance to see all the different lessons that are up there. You can share them with your family and friends who don't have Facebook pages. This lesson also will be added to the YouTube channel here in just a minute, today, sometime today. All right. So once it's uploaded, you will get notified. All right. Thank you all for saying that the lesson was great and awesome. All praises to the Father for his revelation. And so we have to continue to grow and build upon his revelation and continue to walk in the steps in which he's walking in and he would have us to walk in. Don't forget this coming Shabbat, this coming Saturday, many of us will be traveling to Selma. I will be teaching on the book of Revelations down in Selma, Alabama. If you would like a ride with us, definitely feel free to roll with us. We'll have our boom service. Boom Church is in Jacksonville, Florida. We will have Friday night Shabbat service. And then on Saturday, we will have the balance where there will be a panel discussion between Hebrew pastors and Christian pastors, and we'll all sit down and we'll chop it up and build, talk about our differences and talk about our similarities. We have more in common than we actually know. And I thank the Father for giving me this revelation because it's truly been a blessing. It was a blessing in Atlanta. Now we move it to Jacksonville, Florida. Continue to pray for Boom Church. We are definitely growing in spirit as well as in number. And I thank all of you for your support. Don't forget, James 1-on-1 Conference is coming June 7th through the 9th. James 1-on-1. We are still taking donations. It is a free conference. We're trying to find the biggest, nice facility that we can get, as well as catering. So we've met our budget goal, but we're still taking donations. The link is here in the group for the James 1-on-1 Conference. If you want to give, it doesn't matter if it's $5, it doesn't matter if it's $500. We will definitely appreciate it because we don't want to charge any of our conferences, and we want brothers and sisters to walk away from a free conference being fed physically, but also being fed spiritually, and have a good family time. James 1-on-1 is about family, friends. We're going to have concerts. We're going to have panel discussions. We're going to have women empowerment discussions, our sisters talking, speaking, brothers, PowerPoint presentations and lessons and teachings. It is phenomenal. If you've never been to James 1-on-1 or any of our conferences, it is phenomenal and is very edifying. So thank all of you, man, for your support. Those of you who did give, I appreciate all of you for giving, helping us reach our goal. But we are definitely still taking donations until the end of March because we're definitely trying to find it's getting off the chain, man. So we definitely trying to find a big enough facility to hold everybody. Again, this Friday night, we will have Boom Church Shabbat service. If you plan on being in Jacksonville, you're coming to Jacksonville, whatever, we have service Friday night at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, this is next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday on March the 2nd, we will have Shabbat service. Our Shabbat service moved from Saturday to Friday because we're having service. We're having a panel discussion on Saturday at 12 and Shabbat service Friday night. So thank you all for tuning in. Grace to you.